I'm not hosting. She is. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well.
We're doing it that way, are we? Well, I wasn't briefed on this at all, but you've tagged me in. It's a cold tag, so it is. Everyone, welcome to this Saturday afternoon stroke evening edition of the weekly Steelchair. A lot to get into today, and as ever, I will be your ray of sunshine to do it. And the dark cloud beside me is Reece. Russell, how you doing, Reece?
He's fine. He's fine. He's just wanting to get through this weekend.
What's getting you so down? Is it the lack of football?
No, nothing to do with that. I just want to get through the weekend.
Fair enough. I suppose if you got the momentum going, I mean, I'm going to be coming out of this weekend into basically a holiday week. The schools are obviously off, and that means that teaching isn't really sought after either. So, get a bit of an off week, bit of time. But I've had plenty of time through the week to scout what's been going on in the wrestling world. And there was one major story taking over on Tuesday night, AEW's Title Tuesday event, going head to head with, I mean, let's be honest, a blockbuster episode of NXT. Just star after star, NXT just unloading all of the ammunition that they could and firing it right at Tony Khan. And it got Tony Khan a bit rattled. We're going to be getting into all of that today, as well as the consequences of last night's SmackDown. Many things changing over on the Blue brand, including a brand new bona fide main event star in the making. We could even say megastar, but we're going to begin, as I say, with AEW. And Reece, we were messaging a little bit during the shows. I had them up on split screen on a completely legitimate way of watching. Both shows going at the same time. So we'll start with AEW because they're the ones that ultimately have things to answer for. What did you make of this week's AEW Dynamite Title Tuesday?
I thought there were some positives. Like, in terms of what they really had to change, I thought there were some positives. But there were some aspects of the show I didn't like that we'll touch on later in the show. But I don't think Dynamite was bad. I don't think Dynamite was bad at all. I think the problem with Dynamite is, as you said, they had ammunition coming at them in totally different ways. I also thought it was a very stupid decision by Tony Khan anyway to put Dynamite on Tuesday. Who cares if baseball's on? Like, baseball's boring. So, frankly,
yeah, I kind of get it. I mean, was it not the case that the channel told him to move?
I think so. I'm not. I didn't really read much into it, so it could be the case. I don't know, but
because even it's so, like when SmackDown gets moved to FS1.
Yeah, that's true.
For, I think that might be NBA, it might be NFL, but basically one of the sports moves SmackDown every so often.
It'll dictate
over to FS1. So I imagine that's the network's decision, but it's Tony Khan's decision whether to go gun ho, whether to say, okay, we can take them, we can take them on, we can beat them at their own game. And NXT were getting primed for this the week in advance. We were already hearing rumors, big names. Cody will be on NXT. John Cena is going to be appearing on NXT. We're going to get Paul Heyman on NXT. As this show just ramped up and up and up, Tony Khan was clearly panicking.
Yeah, I think either way, I still think WWE made the wrong decision anyway. They didn't need all these guys. They actually did nothing. Actually, funnily enough, what they did is Tony Khan in reverse. That people blame about, just blame where he just does, just the preemptive, I'm going to put this in place, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's what NXT felt like, where they just went, you know what? AEW seem to just be obsessed with the dream match scenario as some claim, where they just go for the dream match scenario, and this is what we're going to go for. So what we're going to do is we're going to book Roxanne Perez versus Asuka. Okay, no problem. We're going to go back to a match that didn't work in Carmelo Hayes versus Braun Breaker. The first time.
I wouldn't say it didn't work. I would say it was
boring, uneventful,
underwhelming. No, I wouldn't say boring, because Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, neither of those guys are boring. Boring is a lot to throw at someone.
It's boring when it doesn't.
When you know NXT has that potential to completely steal the show, and the main event of NXT Stand and Deliver, you want it to steal the show more than it did. Carmelo Hayes and Braun Breaker, it's a good match. I wouldn't mind watching it again, but it's not one of the matches I'm going to be rushing back to. It's not one of Carmelo Hayes' top 3 outings of the year. Neither of the Hayes and Breaker ones are. But
I think that's what NXT was. Like, that's NXT was fun. But NXT was fun in the sense where they actually beat Tony Khan at his own game, where they went, we're just going to book the dream stuff. And it did work. And I praise them for that. Like, I honestly do. I think that's something that you can do from time to time. People think that dream match scenarios and booking all the time is a bad idea. If you continuously do it over and over and over again, then it can harm your product. But if you do it in the right scenario and in the right setting where we could make something spectacular, they say we're going to do it. Roxanne Perez versus Asuka was the best match on the entire night. By a landslide. It was the best booked match on the show. The rest of them didn't live up to that match, in my opinion. I thought they were good, but they didn't come close. There was more to that match than anything else. You saw... Well, to be fair, the only thing that ruined Roxanne Perez's match was Booker T's commentary. Boring as fuck. Boring as fuck.
Booker T is allowed to do the commentary. I like when Booker T commentates on Roxanne Perez, because you get that mentor thing. They keep calling back to it. They go like, this is one of your own, one of your students here, Booker. I like it. I think it, because it was a really nice moment when she won the NXT Women's title.
He was taking all the credit. He takes all the credit.
I don't think so.
He does.
He's only taking all the credit as a heel announcer. Booker T most certainly isn't that.
What I do want, though, going forward, and this is on Raw, NXT, and SmackDown, is just put Vic Joseph on every single show, because he's the best commentator that WWE actually have.
That's incorrect.
No, it's not.
It's so incorrect. It's not like, I like Vic Joseph, okay, but at this point, if you just can't respect Michael Cole, I really don't know what's wrong with you.
There's no disrespect to Michael Cole at all. Where I think Michael Cole's good, but I think Vic Joseph is just better. Like, I would be happy if it was Cole and Joseph doing those shows together.
But then what's the dynamic?
It's actually better calling matches.
But you need the dynamic. You need a face-heel dynamic. And we're not getting heel Michael Cole back ever again.
Well, they're kind of alluding to the way they've been acting with him lately, so who knows? I mean, throwing shade at Bayley, throwing shade at Rollins. I mean, to be fair, he seems to be going for it, or he's doing a mix of both.
He's allowed to rate at Bayley if Bayley's a heel.
True. I don't rate Corey Graves as a commentator. I don't think
we know that. We know you're incorrect on this one. It's fine.
I'm not incorrect. It's my opinion, so it's not.
Yeah,
incorrect.
I know, but certain.
I prefer the two that we've
need to be founded, and I really don't get your. I think Corey Graves is the guy that is most on the pulse of what WWE wants, like of what the casual WWE audience want to hear right now. But anyway, what I want to hear right now is you talk about AEW Dynamite. Because all we said so far is that NXT loaded the show. What I want to talk about right now is how AEW tried to load the show, but they have no stars. And we're going to get into more problems with AEW, but let's start
I disagree on that last part. I disagree that they don't have stars. They do. I disagree on that.
Who was star? Who got this big draw?
You can't deny, in the sense of it, that the likes of Swerve is a star. You can't deny that Bryan
He's
Danielson's
not
a star.
Star, Reece.
He is. He is a star. Just because he's
No,
not
he's
on
a
WWE
very good
doesn't mean he's not a
wrestler.
star.
He's not a star. He's very good in the ring. He's very good on the mic. But
He's probably
to
the
be a
best all-round they've
star,
got.
yeah, but to be a star, you've got to not only have all of the things in place as a worker, you've then also got to find a way to get yourself over, which Swerve hasn't done. And Tony Khan is okay. What has been Swerve's major achievement in AEW? What is that thing that makes him a main event star? What is that thing that puts him on? You know, we call Cody a star, Roman a star, Cena a star.
Let's not bring up two politicians and an absentee champion.
But they're all stars, Reece. It doesn't matter what, you know, it doesn't matter what buzzwords you want to throw at them.
Cody's biggest achievement is boring stories.
But it doesn't matter what buzzword or how many times you want to say boring. The point is that AEW do not have, and I think it's pretty clear that by putting Adam Copeland on the show against the botching dinosaur, it was very clear that they were out of ideas, they were out of stars, and it was like they tried to load the cannon, but I don't know, you've seen that bit in Pirates of the Caribbean, right, where they want to fire back, but they have no guns, like there's no cannonballs, there's no gunpowder left.
No idea.
So they just start grabbing anything. That's what AEW was doing. So WWE were firing cannonball after cannonball, and it was hitting, And AEW's response was to like get a vase and try to fire that through, and it just didn't work. And
it's like I said,
show is so lacking for star power at the moment.
It's like I said,
Edge has arrived. He's dead on arrival. Edge has arrived and is dead on arrival.
He's
the
fine.
Fans did not care.
I think the one thing that the issue here is what you're actually looking for. Now,
I'm looking for a show that has someone worth caring about on it, and I'm not sure AEW actually has that anymore. Because anyone that I did like, they quickly ruin or just don't use. And anyone that I don't like, well, they've, you know, if you counted up all the TV time that Mr. Hands in his pockets has had all year and gave that to someone like a Malachi Black, you would have a show that is 900 times better.
He's also unlucky that he's injured, but I do agree with you.
Give it to someone that can do something with it, because okay, so for people that missed it, Orange Cassidy ended up in another international title match.
Yep.
Because obviously, now you'd be like, hang on, I saw the, if you did, I saw the promotional package for Dynamite. I even saw the little picture that Tony put out. You know, AEW posted on Instagram, I think the day of the show. You get a here's tonight's Dynamite card, and it was the full thing, and it was like stacked lineup for Title Tuesday.
Yep.
And Rey Fenix was defending the International Championship against Jon Moxley, who's back from concussion.
Yeah.
So
and it would have made sense to do that rematch. It would have made sense to do that rematch.
Yeah, and were we told on the pre-show? Because Tony's so desperate that he does pre-shows for TV episodes.
I didn't even watch it, so I don't know. I don't watch pre-shows. Pre-shows.
Eddie Kingston and Minoru Suzuki had a bloody awful match, but it was Eddie Kingston and Minoru Suzuki. Shouldn't be surprised at this point.
I'm not going to put any blame on Suzuki. The guy's been oversaturated by constant overuse in WWE.
Has he won a match in AEW?
Suzuki, yeah.
Has he won a match in AEW?
Not that I can recall. I think he has. No, did he not beat Darby Allin?
I do not know.
I think he beat Darby Allin, but
I know he's lost to Moxley twice.
He's lost to Moxley.
He lost to Danielson.
He lost to Naito, Sting, and Allen at Forbidden Door.
Yes, he even loses his pay-per-view matches for AEW.
But again, though, he's not an AEW star, so I'm not surprised he's losing matches.
Well, stop bringing him over then.
They know why they bring it over, though, because they've got that relationship with New Japan.
Because about 15 people go, oh, it's Suzuki. And the rest go, great. He's going to stand there and slap, and then he'll get slapped, and then he'll slap, and then he'll get slapped, and it'll go on, and then Eddie Kingston will beat him. Eddie Kingston beat him. Eddie Kingston shouldn't be winning any matches.
Again, again, when it comes to him, I just don't care. Like, I don't give a flying fuck.
But this is the thing. If AEW have so many people that you're just like, I don't give a flying fuck, then no wonder AEW comes on and your response is, don't give a flying fuck. They don't have any stars. And anyone they did have that had the drawing potential, they've either chased out the company, they only appear once every blue moon, or they do the worst shit imaginable with them to the point that you don't like them anymore.
There's one missing that is very, well, you barely see him, which makes no sense. Like, there is one that is very rarely on Dynamite, and I don't like what he's doing at the moment, and that's Omega. Like, genuinely,
I wouldn't even be able to tell you what he's doing right now. It's Callis stuff, I think. But is he still?
He's still feuding with Don Callis. I just want him back in the world title picture because he's genuinely just the best guy all round they've got apart from Jay White. Him Swerve. In terms of actual
we will come on to the Jay White situation and whether we think.
If anyone seriously doubts Jay White isn't a world champion, then they are the ones that really need help. Just saying.
But again, Jay White's not a star. He's very, very good. But we haven't seen enough of him. New Japan, right? New Japan Pro Wrestling is just a niche product, okay? It's an audience that the wrestling fan that listens to Dave Meltzer and people like me listen to Jim Cornette and everyone. Jay White is someone we've heard of. Well, actually, maybe not all Cornette listeners have actually heard of Jay White because they might just avoid New Japan the same way he does. But we've heard of Jay White. We know Jay White's good. We know Jay White beat Okada. We know XYZ about Jay White. What we need to realize, and what I hope AEW will eventually wake up and smell, is that if you want people, you need people that get people. And Jay White is not that guy. Could he be that guy? Possibly. Do you need to have him on the TV more than once a month to do it? Definitely.
But he's on TV more frequently than you think. That's the thing.
So you need to stop hiding him on Collision in front of 400,000 people? Definitely.
Potentially. But the thing is, though, is what he's actually doing with the likes of a few other names that are involved with him. They are interesting. It's just what is the actual plan for them? That's my only thing, because if it were up to me, I would have Jay White win the world title at Full Gear. Just like I would have had Adam Cole win the world title at All In. But again, this comes down to what do they want as the world champion? Because at the end of the day, MJF, yeah, sure, the guy's exciting. The guy's funny. Sure. But it comes down to, in general, what it is you want. And I don't know. Just like a few other shows that's on right now that I want clear change that's not going to change. And one of them is a certain tag team wrestler who thinks he's a single star can just get to fuck. But
Well, we'll come on to that. But I mean, right now, what we're dealing with is a guy who main evented Wembley, and I've got to bring this up, okay? These Adam Cole videos with Roderick Strong and the Kingdom actively makes me hate all of them in the wrong way. In the same way that Orange Cassidy gets my blood boiling. This was the stupidest shit that they could have possibly come up with for this angle. Because it is genuinely quite an intriguing angle. I know I take the piss out of AEW and you were my friend and you want to be in my gang, like I said last week. But
no, true.
Genuinely invested in Adam Cole. Genuinely invested in Roderick Strong. Really like the Kingdom.
First of all, before
you carry Bobby Fish, it's an absolute shame because all they had to do was bring those guys in and just have the trio together. You know, have the quad together if you like. I know Roderick didn't quite leave at the same time, so that's why it would start as a trio. But then, it's almost like Undisputed Era started as a trio, and they could have just done it. And I know that it would have got, and I would have been one of the voices that went, "You're just doing what worked in WWE." But ultimately, it worked in WWE. It worked on NXT. So why wasn't
that is generally your audience?
And instead, for the people that missed this, right? Adam Cole broke his ankle, right, or hurt his ankle. He's done something. So they're having him film like vignettes. Now Cody was out with a long-term injury. What was Cody's vignette? He was out with that long-term injury after Hell in a Cell, the torn pec. What did WWE rustle together? Now, what did WWE rustle together for Cody's video?
They were just sitting there with him, just saying, "Oh, I'll be back here and then, or I'll be back for this period of time, and then when I come back, I'm just going to finish the story." That's what he said. That's it.
And it worked. It got you hyped for Cody Rhodes. It got everyone hyped for Cody Rhodes. And we know this because what happened when Cody Rhodes won the Rumble? Everyone lost their shit. Imagine if Cody did comedic vignettes in the build-up to his return. Like, we know he's injured for a shoot. So imagine it's like, I've torn my pec, but I need to go and get milk. I need to go to the supermarket and get milk. But see, the comedy would be Cody would try to reach for the milk, but his pec's too sore. And Brandy would be on his shoulder like, "Come on, Cody, grab the milk. I can't do it. I'm holding the child."
And then I'd mute the TV and then I'd mute the TV or change
level
the channel.
Of shit they've got Adam Cole doing right now.
If I ever saw that from Cody and
one wheel machine wheeling / walking around Roderick Strong's house. Apparently he's Amish now. And doing just completely shitty comedy. It's not even comedy. It's that sort of canned laughter humor that BTE goes for. The type of thing that they want a laughing track on. The type of thing that they want to print the t-shirts about. It is not engaging comedy. It's not funny. It sure as shit won't get anyone over. And Adam Cole, just thing after thing in this company, looks like more and more of a tool. Your thoughts? Nope. Stunned silence.
No. Not stunned silence. No, just I think when it all comes down to it in general, it's one, surprisingly, Roderick Strong's actually putting in character work. Which
I don't fucking care. I'd rather he be a fucking piece of drywall. This is shite. You would rather this Amish
I never
kid
said. I
heading
never
off the
said.
South Park.
No, that's not what
So
I'm
that's what you're
saying.
saying. You would rather this character.
That's not what. No, that's not what I'm saying. I said I'm surprised he's doing character work. That's what I said. I said I'm surprised. I don't know where they're going from this. Like, are they trying to consistently test Adam Cole's loyalty to Roderick Strong or MJF, where he's constantly not getting responses when MJF tries to phone him? I don't know. Like, although the fact that he's involved with the fucking Acclaimed, which is the fucking worst tag team and group I've ever fucking seen. I don't know
I feel
what
bad
the
for
whole.
the Acclaim. They've got the team with Adam. You know, they've got the team with MJF. MJF's got a team with Adam Cole. So that means by osmosis, the Acclaim, they're getting this Adam Cole shit on them as well. They'll
The
appear in one of
Acclaimed
these.
don't deserve to be in
If
wrestling.
they keep making them, the Acclaimed are going to end up in these as well.
I would rather see the Acclaimed on somewhere like WWE Main Event because they're not good enough for mainstream TV. Like, they bore the piss out of me.
But they're
But
better than that.
they're not that good.
I'll
going
take
back-
a plain white bread sandwich, no filling, over this. Whatever the fuck they've decided to do.
I would rather
with Adam Cole,
take a
Roderick
shot.
Strong in the Kingdom.
I would rather take a shot of vodka with fire going through it than watch or listen to anything to do with the Acclaimed. But for moving on from the Acclaimed, because I don't even want to talk about them, they blow the piss out of me.
So
In terms
what
of
was
this whole Roderick Strong thing with Adam Cole, one, I find some of it weird, and I'll actually allude to it about something about Raw, because there's something about Monday Night Raw that I want to bring up that was really pathetic.
okay? Sounds a bit like so. Let's stay on AEW for now.
No, it'll definitely relate to it in the sense of where you're supposed to be injured, but you're doing so much physical activity. Like, I get it if you're trying to have a joke and a laugh, but you're trying to actually engage your audience. I understand that. But if you're injured where it's on a foot or an ankle where mobility is important and you've got limited, generally you shouldn't be over the top with it. I don't understand the whole stuck in a mental Amish household. Like, I get your point about it. I mean, it's just work, 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 move on, simple, boring life. But that's not what.
The thing for me was the fact that it was
That's not what the
already
Kingdom's about.
bad, and then they had Roderick Strong say, "You know that the TV's the devil." Okay, so why the fuck's he Amish now?
I don't know. I
Not believing in technology.
I don't
Also,
get
how
it.
did he get Adam Cole to go over there?
He invited him.
Did he call him?
They just followed up from the end of
You know, but I'm saying in one of the
Grand Slam.
vignettes, does Adam Cole receive a phone call from Roderick Strong?
No,
Because
he
then
just
not
he
we
just
have
goes with him.
shitty comedy. We have shitty comedy that doesn't make any sense.
No, he just went with him after the end of the show where it was the end of Dynamite where MJF told Cole to go with Roderick Strong, who was on the ramp, and then the show, funnily enough, ended with the Devil Mask attacking MJF. Like, Adam Cole was with Roderick Strong. They just left as a group. All four of them just went. MJF told them to go. And that consistently followed up. So that's literally where it was. There was no call. He done it face to face.
Right. How did they get back from the arena?
I'm assuming vehicle. I don't know. Like, again,
Right.
that's
I
generally
think
how you
we're
leave.
seeing
But
the point that I'm making here, so I'll stop being so obtuse about it.
again, I've already said I don't see the need for this. Like, if anything, if you're going to have Adam Cole with the Kingdom, just do it, because that's when he was actually good. Like, Adam Cole with the Kingdom is when we first actually saw him work as a group that was actually interesting.
Yeah.
If the plan is to
And
put him
what's
with the
funny
Kingdom,
is-
then do it. I don't like.
Because
I don't
he's
bother with that.
injured. We could have actually got Adam Cole as a manager for the Kingdom, and then, funnily enough, he would have gone to AEW to be a manager to avoid going to WWE, like staying at WWE as a manager.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, you know, either way, he's kind of fucked. But he's you know, fucked it for himself here. This is terrible.
I'd love to know what
Probably
the
almost as
end game is.
terrible as
But
Ray Phoenix versus Orange Cassidy, but I didn't watch it because honestly, I think I actually like the split screen wasn't even on when I realized it was going to be Pocket, so I just didn't bother.
I did watch it, and I found the whole thing quite hypocritical and contradicting in a way.
Okay.
Because
Well, I mean, you'll have played on this because I didn't watch the match.
it seems to be the whole thing now that Orange Cassidy was, for his first reign, which went 11 months, it was about him breaking his body to physically continuously keep his title. Okay. Fair enough. I don't mind that because that's understandable, where you are physically breaking down to avoid losing something that matters to you. Seen it numerous times in wrestling where they will do anything to avoid losing their title.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's generally the point of being a champion. You will do anything not to lose. We've seen it where he will break his body. We know Roman's idea is ref bumps and get interference, and it works because it's convincing. Whether you like him or not, and I certainly don't, he has a method and it's convincing.
Yeah.
So you've got two polar opposites. No problem. What I find hypocritical and contradicting is I said it on last week's show that frankly, the referee shouldn't have made Ray Phoenix put the Phoenix Driver back on Moxley and repeat the finish. They should have just pinned it and ended it right there and then so Moxley can actually get medical attention for a fucking concussion. I still blame the referee for that. That is all on the referee. I don't blame Phoenix. I don't blame Moxley. I blame the referee.
Yeah, but that's water under the bridge. We're talking about, So how does this go?
But this is what gets to my point. Phoenix had a good match against Nick Jackson last week, where they actually went through it. There was no issues, no physical issues. We then get to this show. Phoenix is injured of some sort, but he just loses the title to Orange Cassidy. Again, why would you not have it go back to the previous champion and then which was Moxley anyway? Why is he not granted his rematch for a title that he lost because of an injury? I understand you put that back, but then also, what is the difference between? It seems if it's this obsessed storyline for Orange Cassidy, where he's obsessed with international title, then fair enough. But why would you have Phoenix, who apparently has an injury, immediately lose it in that sense to a man who was breaking his body to retain it? Are you going to repeat the whole thing all over again where he's obsessed about not losing his title for the second time?
Why didn't Orange Cassidy take more time off? I mean, I would have taken forever, If you give me the choice of how long Orange Cassidy goes away for, it would be forever. But even based on the story they were telling and the fact that Moxley eventually broke Orange Cassidy, it's not much of a break if you're back in a month.
Yeah,
and ready to just assume your previous role, not change a single thing about yourself. You're just back. You're Tony's buddy in the jeans. Yay! Oh, I love that. Give me more Tony's buddy in the jeans, please.
He is, as you've always as you said, you've got an issue with him for that same reason. He's just the exact same as the Acclaimed, whether you want to admit it or not. They're the exact same thing. He is their buddy. I mean, who gets customized titles that can scissor themselves? That's an insult to wrestling, just as much as you think Orange Cassidy is an insult to wrestling.
But a title's a title, People are.
But it's their entire freaking their whole gimmick, their whole thing is an insult to wrestling.
Well,
I've never liked it either.
The characters are over the top, okay, but and this is why Orange Cassidy's in his own personal level of just get that away from me. when the bell goes, the Acclaimed have a wrestling match. When the bell goes, Orange Cassidy does not.
The last time I generally seen the Acclaim wrestle was when they should never have won a match, and that was against the House of Black.
Well, yeah, but I mean, we can't help that Tony just isn't. He's got like 90 people, but about 4 of them matter. And to be fair, that 4 is charitable. I don't even think I'd be able to tell you 4 names in AEW right now that I'd actually like. If I saw them on the show, I'd be like, "Oh, I wanna see you." I mean, I own NJF. This run has failed. Just get yourself to WWE, save your career, because this could be very much the end of you if you're just not careful. Certainly the end of you in terms of wrestling if you don't get out of AEW, because we're seeing it. This is as far as they go. It's like I said, Punk was as far as they go. They're not doing it again. There's not going to be this second boom period for AEW. You know, there is no one who will generate those numbers again, because Edge is about as big as they're going to get. Would Randy Orton take the offer? Yes. Is he going to generate that much? I wouldn't bet on it. But as I say, AEW's main problem was they had nothing. You know, Hobbs versus Jericho. Yay. I think yay. The match seemed okay. It was just like on the other side of things at this point, I think was the pub rules match on NXT.
That
So
was
what are you going to watch? But what are you going to watch, right? Are you going to watch the pub rules match, or are you going to watch Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho? Powerhouse Hobbs versus Chris Jericho didn't have 6 guys. It didn't have 6 guys that were, you know, actually good in the ring. It didn't have the weaponry, you know, it didn't have the chaos at all. It was this slow, just sort of plodding Chris Jericho match, because Chris Jericho is too old to keep going. And
neither match was good. I didn't even watch either of them because they both like switched me off. Because
I'm not saying it's one of my matches of the year, but I'm saying it was more compelling to me than that shit. You know,
generally that like those 2 matches, I could have fell asleep and I probably would have been happier.
It was chaotic. The pub rules match. It was chaotic. You kind of knew Gallus were going to lose, but it was chaotic.
They lost to a bunch of guns and Butch. Like
Tyler Bates, good. Stop it. Tyler Bates, good.
I'm talking about the other. I'm talking about the gimp called Ridge Holland. He needs to go. Like he needs to go as well.
Ridge Holland's okay, right? He's not going to get anywhere. He's not going to get anywhere. But he's a big guy. Injuries happen. You know, you're gonna go after fucking D'Lo Brown next. Injuries happen.
I know that. I'm well aware.
Yeah,
but he has got no personality, and he's boring in the ring.
I wouldn't say he's got no personality. He's doing pretty well with this, you know, English gangster thing. Again, it's not going to get him the world title, but he doesn't need to piss off.
He's another one that I would just send away.
Anyway, Ridge Holland's a good bridge.
He should have been on the list with Rick Boogs. He should have been on the list with Rick Boogs on the release list.
He's a good bridge, Holland, because he'll bring us to SmackDown last night. That's probably one of our most fiery debates yet in terms of AEW, and they're only going to get more fiery, I would imagine, because I mean, you know, if there's going to be more defending of AEW, there's going to be more of, you know, more from me on the offense, just charging through and getting first down every week, because quite frankly AEW has just got nothing at this point, and it's almost sad. But then I remember that Tony Khan brought it on himself. I remember the first 2 years of I remember the Wednesday Night Wars and how AEW were so cocky, and how the fans were so cocky, and how the wrestling channels that had, you know, bought
they technically did win.
Ticket.
whether you wanted disagree or not, they actually won the Wednesday Night Wars because they forced NXT
That's
to choose
fantastic. They won the
And
Wednesday
that's
Night
good.
Wars. Do you know what the Wednesday Night Wars were at WWE? They
Waste
were
of my time.
Wednesdays. They were Wednesdays. AEW, it meant everything. It meant the world to outdraw NXT. Did they outdraw Raw?
No,
Did they outdraw SmackDown?
no.
So who's the biggest wrestling company?
That's just lame to go with, though. We
No, you know
already
what?
know that.
But what
That is
do you
true,
mean?
though.
Their aim was to become mainstream. They have
And
missed
they are.
the boat. How are they mainstream?
You can't deny they're not.
Well, I
Everyone
am
knows is
denying. I am
You
denying
can't.
it right now.
you can't. You can't deny they're not mainstream for the amount of numbers they physically pull. It's not WWE numbers for a reason.
600,000.
It's also the amount of money they actually
600,000
bring in.
mainstream.
You can't deny what they bring, though. The problem
Arenas
is, though,
6,000 people in them are mainstream. Does that mean that like any band that manages to get a 5,000 seater arena booked because they're big in their local area, does that make them mainstream?
once you get out there and you actually have that
They're not
that
mainstream.
following is important. The only reason WWE are where they are is because, one, they've got so many years ahead of people, and they have a different level of reach.
Exactly. So if all Tony Khan had to do was not poke the bear, all he had to do, but instead he just went, "Nah, we're going to go head to head with them, and you know something, we're going to beat them." And then there were people genuinely, I think AEW is going to change WWE forever. It's like it really didn't. It really hasn't, and it really won't.
That was his choice. Do I care? No, I don't. All it did was bring out the tribal goons. If anything, it brought them out, and that was okay. I don't care. Like, I don't care who wins this war. I don't care who wins that war. End of the day,
But there is no war. This is what I'm saying. There is no war now.
End of the day, war or not,
the declaration of surrender. AEW is pulling the white flag out of its
This is
ass,
the only factual. This is the only factual reveal. It doesn't matter who gets what ratings. End of the day, is Raw a good show to watch? No. Is NXT good to watch? No. No.
Better.
No. No. Is Raw good to watch? No, that's not why I asked. That's not why I said, is Raw good to watch? No, it's not. Is NXT good to watch? Yes. Is SmackDown good to watch? Yes. Is Collision good? Yes.
No.
It is. Is Dynamite good?
They've dropped the ball, believe it or not. I mean, AEW and dropping a ball. Unbelievable.
But in terms of like what you want to watch, end of the day, it depends on what goes to you.
Yeah, but it also comes back to the stars thing as well, Reece, and they don't have any. Anyway, we're going full circle, and we've neglected the Bridge Holland, so we're going back to Bridge Holland and crossing over into SmackDown and what happened last night. And well,
before we're even going to do that, I want to talk about the disgraceful moment from Raw.
Okay,
I'm not letting WWE off the hook for the stupidity of Monday Night Raw. How can you have Seth Rollins, who's apparently injured, where he gets his absolute back fucked in a last man standing, where he comes out on Raw and he's completely fine? Bullshit.
He was powered up by the people.
No, bollocks. I'm not having that. That's pure bollocks.
Okay, but it's not disgraceful, is it?
It is disgraceful.
No, it's disgraceful. It's a lack of attention to detail.
It says a lot when Bully Ray comes out on his podcast and he's calling WWE a disgrace for it.
Bully Ray
says a lot. But he's
Bully
not wrong.
Ray's a disgrace. Bully Ray's a disgrace to wrestling.
When he comes back to reading that Legends contract, your face is going to be absolute gold.
Well, good thing my face isn't shown on these parts no more.
And the frustration.
But
it serves the point, though. That really is a problem, though, where people moan that there's no selling and wrestling anymore, and then there's that.
Oh, you're in that.
but that's the whole circumstance being, if you're honestly selling this back injury and then you come out on Raw and you're completely fine, beggars
Seth
belief,
Selling's
it's an
always
insult.
been like a 4 out of 10.
It's still an insult.
Like,
It's
this
insulting.
is the guy that came back from a knee injury but was doing running dives 3 minutes in. You know, like, we know that he remembers what bit of him's supposed to be hurt, but only when he gets hit there. That's fine, because if his back's been hurt the whole time, then it should have always been taped up from the moment Nakamura attacked him.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't, because that's not what they want to do with Seth Rollins. And again, I wouldn't call it disgraceful. I would call it
because it's
an
insulting.
AEW that we're not going to talk about disgraceful, just because I really don't want to get into that conversation.
See, that's picking and choosing, though. That's the thing. And
no,
I do want to talk about it.
Because they're very different things, and we're not having a discussion about that thing on here. So we've got to move swiftly on to Friday Night SmackDown from last night. One of your favourite people has proven me right. Because you said back in December/January time that Nick Aldis should debut in the Rumble for
I said
WWE.
I hope he would. I hoped he would.
Yeah. And my response was that people wouldn't know who he is and he wouldn't get the pop. Reece, I'm going to allow you to reveal for the people who missed it. What did Nick Aldis do last night?
He made general manager.
He is general manager of SmackDown.
Again, I don't see why it's... That's a waste.
He might just want to do it. I mean, it did honestly go through my head, the possibility of at Survivor Series you do Adam Pearce versus Nick Aldis.
You'd actually get a good match out of it because both of them can actually wrestle.
Well, that's the thing. I'm thinking like that would be a decent match. We could, run it back. I don't actually know if they had ever fought. I know Adam Pearce's career about as well as I know Malaysia.
I don't think they have wrestled each other. I don't think they have. Not that.
So there you go. First time ever matchup. They could do it. But yeah, so Nick Aldis, and he got like a tiny little way when he came out. But yeah, he was never going to debut in the Rumble. He was never going to be one of the main eventers on WWE because, again, we're talking about bubbles here. And if Nick Aldis is big in the bubble, that's all he was. He was big in the bubble. People that know he was the NWA champ, people that know he was this, that. There'll be people watching that go, that's Magnus from TNA.
Rightfully
so.
And
I would imagine that there's almost as many people saying that's Nick Aldis from the NWA as are saying that's Magnus from TNA.
Mm-hmm. Rightfully so.
The same way that Joseph Parks appeared and Abyss didn't get the massive pop because, well, some people knew him as Abyss, others did not. Nick Aldis, now we have a proper SmackDown general manager. What sort of potential do you think that has, if any, for some maybe brand rivalry? I mean, obviously it's perfect time, Survivor Series, not necessarily just around the corner. We've got to take a detour to Saudi Arabia first, but it's after that. So what are you thinking in terms of Nick Aldis' future as the SmackDown general manager?
The thing is, though, is they're the right choices, but wrong brands.
Right.
Nick Aldis should be on SmackDown. He should genuinely be on Raw.
Okay.
And it actually makes more sense for him to be on Raw than SmackDown. In terms of actual future, I'm not sure. I mean, we're no longer going to get Bobby Roode in the ring, so that's another one gone.
Yeah, but Bobby Roode's good as a trainer, good as a producer. I like it.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame, but that's him done. We've lost another great technician of the ring. In terms of all this, yeah, I mean, convincing storyteller, so he will at least look to bring extra story, especially to mid card guys who are like lower down, to give them a spot. I think that'll be good. But SmackDown is obsessed with the bloodline, and that's the only reason SmackDown gets ratings. I think it's the wrong choice.
Will comfortably get over 2 million people.
But that's the point. It's the ratings generally come from that lot. So I do think it's the wrong choice. You should go by association. Pierce has got more association to them. We've seen it. It makes more sense to have Pierce with
has
them.
more association to everyone because Nick Aldis hasn't been on screen.
Yeah, but in terms of actually being bitched, he's been bitched for a while by the bloodline. It makes sense to have him just stick with them. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
I'm looking forward to Chelsea Green.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that Impact at least runs WWE.
It'll be fun. Good. I mean, I hope Adam Pearce goes, right, just go to SmackDown. I have had enough of you. So, that could be fun. But other than that, we'll see how he gets on. Best of luck to Nick Aldis, your new SmackDown general manager. But he had an announcement.
Yeah.
He had an announcement. And it was something that I guessed they were going to do. I wanted them to do, so I'm glad it's happening. We have split up a tag team.
Yeah, we've split up Stone Cold version 3, and we've split up Jobber Zane at last.
That's just not very nice. I've told you this already. Sami Zayn's a fantastic wrestler.
I'm not saying he's not.
Over main event status earlier this year.
Yeah, earlier this year. Last
year he was also there. It was just this year he actually got the main event. So for a good few months, he had his own sort of Kofi Mania.
I just think he's not where,
and he's not
where he's not where he needs to be, though. That's the point. He has fallen down a lot, but what has, in a way, is it's done Cody Rhodes a favor. He's got less. The politician has less of a threat now. It gets Zayn away from Owens, so he doesn't have to deal with that. Kind of frees up Jey Uso a little bit to see where his loyalty lies. Will he still be loyal to Rhodes, or will he actually want to get back with Zayn down the line? I don't know.
Well, I understand that, but at the same time, I'm not sure what part of Kevin Owens going to SmackDown changes the fact that Sami Zayn and Jey Uso can be friends.
It changes the fact is now we don't need to see Kevin Owens get involved with them anymore. Like, he's officially out of it. He's got what he wanted. He's free from them. He didn't want to be there.
But he's not free of the Judgment Day.
No one is, to be fair.
Because the man in the ring when Nick Aldis made this announcement was...
Child.
It was Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
And he was getting mega heat, and Triple H with a nice little shot. I liked this. I liked when Triple H said, I thought they piped that noise in. Just once again, like he is just smoking the cigar in terms of smugness. He is so on top of his game right now. Really big fan of just everything going on. I'll be honest, I did not dislike a single thing that happened on SmackDown. I thought it all made perfect sense. I am excited to see what Kevin Owens does.
It's right there. It's literally right there.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens has done that before, so it would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know what they've got. I don't know what they've got for them.
Anointed as the guy that was going to fight Daniel Bryan before Kofi did it. Vince McMahon anointed Kevin Owens, and
they were all superseded.
Where Kevin Owens has sort of inserted himself as well.
Every single person in that ring was superseded anyway by one person.
That was Dominic Mysterio getting all the heat.
No, I'm talking about further down the line. There was only one person in that entire ring during that whole fall that was exciting. There was only one person on that show that really was consistently exciting, but
Okay.
it was it was generally the demeanor the whole time of Aaron Pierce that was actually the most striking out of all of them. Funnily enough, just really
Okay.
interesting. Like his whole demeanor the whole time, it just shows that he is. You can tell he's up for it, and especially the reaction when Aldous says SmackDown was the best brand as well. Like
Yeah, but
that
this is what I'm saying.
is
Like
important.
it's kicked off this sort of brand rivalry again, which
I don't know if we're going to get much of it though,
it
because
could be a
they're
good
not doing
time
it
to
for
get
Survivor
that.
Series. Yeah, but they're not going to do it for Survivor Series because they've already announced War Games. Unless War Games is a
They
spin
could
on
do
it.
SmackDown versus Raw,
They could do.
which
Will they? I'm not
you know,
sure. There's a lot
I
there.
don't,
Yeah.
I still think it makes more sense to put Judgment Day and Bloodline on the same team. But
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
they all just kind of float, and that's the
who they
thing. Like,
listening to?
are we
Who they
getting a
listening to?
hard brand split again? Because this right now is a soft brand split. Like people are just able to sort of show up where they want to, so they
I
have
hope it's a
brands,
hard split.
but they just kind of appear. You know, obviously Cody made the save on SmackDown before Fastlane.
But he's allowed to.
But what special dispensation did Cody have? He wasn't champ at that point.
I think he's just full and he's just insertion in the feud, so they're going to have him there. But I do
Yeah,
agree. We
but
do need
this is what I'm saying. If like, I wonder if the brand rivalry is going to mean the end of that. I really don't want it to. If I'm honest, I like the work. You know, I don't like that Cody just goes. You know, I wouldn't like if Cody went, well, it's the Blue show, so I guess I won't be there this evening. You know, I like the fact that if Cody knows Judgment Day is going to be there, he's going to be there. If he knows Bloodline's going to be there, he's going to be there.
I agree on that.
I think
I
it
agree.
works.
Yeah, the one thing I do want though is I still want a hard split because
I want a general hard split. I think. Which they think they've got, but there might just be a little too much. As much as I do like the floating, there might just be a little too much floating.
I think they have to stop it. Like it was something that I said when when we did the shows build up to the draft and they announced the draft. The one thing I did say that I want is I don't want any more of that fucking wild card rule where you can go from one show.
Well, I mean, it's at least not that because these people just show up when they want.
but they're still going show to show. That has to stop. Like unless you're the Royal Rumble winner, that has to stop.
Or right now, if you're one of the tag champs.
Yeah, or the tag
would be fine because then that would be the perfect excuse for why Cody can appear on both shows, why Jay can appear on both shows.
Exactly, and that's completely fine with me. Like that's fine. They're genuinely different reasons, and they're excusable and they're valid. But if you're just say, for example, Drew McIntyre, who's a big Scotsman who just goes, I've done Raw for a week. I've just beat. I've just punked Rollins in the ring. I've done that. Cool. I'm just gonna pop over to SmackDown and see.
He just fucking pardon. Yeah. I missed that part of the show. Did Rollins consent?
Yeah, Rollins agreed to it. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Well, so that is the main event for Crown Jewel. That is the main event for Crown Jewel, which I'm actually going to do a watch along for. I don't know if you're up for it or not, but I'm good because we did that last.
We'll have to see.
It's up to you if you want to do it or not, but I'm going to do it. But yeah, I'm announcing that right now. Funnily enough.
Well, we'll have to see on that one. But anyway, of course, we have one.
He did agree to it.
We have one more guy to talk about because, well, as we said, it's always newsworthy when Roman Reigns decides to show up to work. So he decided to show up to work, which is a good start. I gave Brock Lesnar shit for it, so I do have to give Roman Reigns shit for it, even if I am enjoying Roman Reigns to the nth degree more than I ever enjoyed Brock Lesnar. So Cena opens the show, which is the best choice because that man can play to a crowd. He's got them in his hands, a la Bray Wyatt, rest in peace, before he even starts talking. Just his very presence gets people going. And Tulsa get welcomed to SmackDown, and they're up for it, and they're fired up, and Cena goes to continue, and music. And it is Roman Reigns. It's the first time, did they say since the SmackDown following SummerSlam?
Yes.
So that was the last time he was on the screens before last night. So I mean, at least they made it feel like an occasion. At least something happened. Roman Reigns comes out, and he and John Cena have another entertaining back and forth on the mic, to the point where Roman thinks, well, we get the line that we've heard a few times throughout Roman Reigns' title reign: leave, or we're going to make you leave. I like that. Really to the point, Cena says, no, I'm going to actually throw a curveball. I'm not here to challenge you. I'm here to acknowledge you. He said that Roman Reigns' title reign was the most impressive achievement in the history of the business.
Yeah.
Which, some people would say tall order, high praise, but it's John Cena. So, he could tell you the sky was...
I always just say take it with a pinch of salt, but yeah.
Yeah, he could tell you the sky is green, and you believe John Cena.
Yeah.
But he says, I'm not here to challenge you tonight because I haven't earned it, but I know someone who has. Now, I was thinking Cody.
Yeah, he has.
I don't know why. I was expecting it to be Cody. Because obviously he's now able to jump across. I was expecting them to start already, to plant another seed and go, no, Cody, it's not going to be you. It's not going to be you. And instead, well, Reece, do you want to say who it was?
The most entertaining guy in WWE right now, the top merch seller, that would be LA Knight.
Yeah. I am so hyped for LA Knight to win this fucking title. I didn't realize how badly I wanted it.
But there's one problem. There's one problem, though.
Go on. Shit on my cereal. What are you going to say?
I would be all in for it. Pardon the pun. I would be all in for LA Knight winning winning the Universal title. You rebranded the WWE title because I hate the fact it's called the Universal title, Undisputed Universal title, to be exact.
I mean, it would make sense if he did win the Universal because he's the megastar. So,
yeah,
but at least then you can make the name work.
Exactly. But this is where the problem is, though. There's no way they're going to put it on in first time round. They're not gonna. And I would do it. I would, because the guy is genuinely brilliant. But are they going to do it? Highly unlikely.
Well, how many people attend stadium shows in Saudi Arabia?
The exact crowd in Jeddah, was it not? What was the last? I'm actually going to get the last crowd for you, actually, because
do they not use for one of the cities? Forgive me, my knowledge of Saudi Arabia is
Riyadh.
Generally excluded by the idea that I'm not allowed. The fact that I'm not allowed to go there.
They use Riyadh and Jeddah.
Yeah, and then one of those, is that where the King Fahd is?
Yes, it is. That's I'm pretty sure that one's Riyadh. The King Fahd International Stadium.
70,000 seater.
The King Fahd Stadium seats. The King Fahd Stadium is where Al Hilal, Al Shabaab, and Saudi Arabia actually play football. That's 68,000 fans. Yeah,
so it's around a 70,000 seater. I was a little. Yeah. I overestimated it a little bit, but
it says capacity is 68,752, but seat wise, it's 58,000. So it's 58,000 seats.
Yeah, but you'd be closer to 68,000 because obviously you got formatted for wrestling. You'll get more real estate.
No, for sure. I'm just saying that's what it's got.
Is that a big enough show to just put a bolt of lightning through SmackDown?
Yes,
Is
it
that
is.
a big enough show to just go, we're doing it tonight?
It is, for the simple reason, which we know about, the amount of money that they will get for this show alone is the difference. It's insane amount of money. And like the funny thing is though, is money grows on trees, and like money doesn't grow on trees and all that. But the fucking Saudis and all that, money's just there in a handful. Here you go. Doink, doink, doink. There you go. We want this. I'm just not sure if they're going to pull the trigger on LA Knight yet. I still say that LA Knight should have won Money in the Bank, not Damian Priest, and I still stand by it.
We've at least
But
got some intrigue out of the Damian Priest thing, though. Like they're
yeah,
doing something.
I still hope he fails his cash in, but I wouldn't take him out of the main event scene even if he fails the cash in. I just don't think he needs to be successful on it. But if LA Knight does win it, you could have LA Knight versus Priest as well. I don't know what they're going to go with. I don't think it should be LA Knight versus Cody.
No, even though if LA Knight does do it,
clash.
I think the logical process is genuinely to have a jealous Cody heel turn.
Yeah, you can't
I
have
know
LA Knight
it's so bold because right now Cody is, every time he appears, he's not getting LA Knight reactions, but he's second most popular on the shows. The fans are singing his song, for God's sake. Like that.
I think he's third personally. I think he's third for reactions. That's just my opinion. I think he's third. The only reason I think he's third is
for positive reactions, because I'd probably say Dominic actually gets louder.
No, I wasn't gonna say Dominic. I was actually gonna say, even though I seriously don't like him, I would generally say Roman gets better reactions than Cody.
Yeah, but again, as I say,
consistently does, like for the right reasons. He just gets reactions, but Cody as a babyface,
John Cena and Rock have taught him well.
Yes,
fish for the reaction.
But LA Knight's on a different level. LA Knight's on a totally different level of reaction that Cody won't catch. I don't know how they're going to
Cody won't catch again, because Cody was getting that level.
They had it and it's now gone. Like that is now LA Knight, and it's
if Cody was going to win the title at the first time of asking, they would have got the reaction that they're now looking to get out of, potentially looking to get out of LA Knight.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think that's where we need to see where they're going to go with, because in a way, you can't go from LA Knight loses to, here comes Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar all of a sudden doesn't like men from Los Angeles. Like, we just can't have that. So I
think Brock's done now, right?
Well, we know Ronda Rousey's...
to say that Brock Lesnar's done?
We know Ronda Rousey's done, but Brock's never officially said he's done. So I don't know. Brock will probably appear in like 4 months or something. He'll appear after like the Rumble or something. He'll do, I'm here for another one.
Final handshake. I mean, the other thing that has given me the sort of the optimism that they might just do it is because obviously writer strike's still a thing. Rock versus Roman doesn't need the title. It's actually more intriguing if it doesn't have the title on the line, because they're not going to put the title on the Rock.
It never needed the title.
Exactly. So if our build here, imagine, right, LA Knight, we're talking about how he's getting the sort of rub from Cena, but like he's always looked as strong as Cena, he's always looked as powerful as Cena, he's always looked as, likable as Cena. They've done everything absolutely perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what if The Rock cost Roman? LA Knight won, and then you start building Rock Roman for Mania, and you have LA Knight as your champion.
You could do. You certainly could. We've already kind of seen a plant of the seed anyway, because we saw on NXT Paul Heyman trying to sniff his way into Ava Raine. So there's another added factor. It's will they or
Yeah,
won't they? That's
they're
the
just
only
waiting
thing.
they're just waiting for a woman to catch fire like that, and then
It's just
she'll be
it's
involved
just
in this. She'll have to. But to be fair, there's already Rhea Ripley to contend with, so maybe a Rhea Ripley face turn of all things.
until she stops being an NPC, then we'll see where that goes.
Well, obviously, Mammy can't be face while Dominic's there,
Just
and
have him
that
kicked to the
pairing,
curb.
that pairing's working, like in a
Eventually.
crazy way. That
Yeah.
pairing's working. Dominic Mysterio is getting, as Cornette would say, tire kicking heat.
Yeah.
So I'm very impressed with what SmackDown is doing, and optimistic that we could actually see LA Knight, the guy that we've chosen. Fuck your Daniel Bryan. This is the guy.
But here's the thing that we've spoken about consistently on this podcast for so long, right? We're going to run through a few names. We're going to run through a few names, right? And don't worry, most of these are cunts, but it's okay. We've went through.
Fair enough.
You'll know which ones are cunts when I get to them. So we
went
through.
No.
But like I said, we're going to go through the list. So we're going to go through it.
Okay.
So we've had the run started at Fastlane. Coincidentally, 2021. Yeah, 2021. No, 2020.
Yeah.
2020, sorry.
I don't know. Maybe
2020. Sorry, because SummerSlam 2021 is when he went for the full year. So 2020. Sorry, my bad. So he beats Bray Wyatt as the Fiend, and he beats Braun Strowman.
Right.
He's beaten those two. He's beaten Riddle numerous times. He beat Kevin Owens questionably a few times, but one of them stands out as questionable when he won the Last Man Standing when the referee stopped counting.
Yeah, the Last Man Standing was nonsense, but that was
Yeah, but he stopped
off properly. I don't think they meant to do it that way.
It was just they should have He should have just kept counting, whether you want to have him lose or not. They shouldn't have stopped counting like that. That was wrong. He loses. Yeah. He loses against Rollins by disqualification.
Rollins never gets a rematch.
Yep, he's never had it since. He beats Edge and Bryan at WrestleMania.
Bryan had a rematch on SmackDown, which was Bryan's farewell match. Edge was Roman Reigns' opponent at Money in the Bank, and
that was Edge. That was he had Cesaro first.
Oh yes, Cesaro.
WrestleMania Backlash, he had that first. Then he had Edge. Then we get Cena.
Yep.
We get Brock. We get Brock again.
Of course.
They love Brock versus Roman. They love wanking those two off.
They love Brock versus Roman. Gotta love it.
Yep. Then we get War Games. So he's not in the title match. He's in War Games. We're getting KO again. Sami Zayn. WrestleMania's just went and he had Cody. He gets Cody. He gets Cody again.
Yep. No.
Then he's got Jey Uso after the tag match.
He didn't have Cody again.
He did. He had Cody twice, didn't he? Cody had his rematch.
No,
I went straight to Brock. Sorry, my apologies. Yeah, he went straight to Brock. So Cody once. He gets Jey Uso, which wasn't that good. That wasn't that good. That tribal combat, I wasn't. I think that was one of the worst out of the whole title reign.
Weirdly enough, it was the weakest match of the three that Jey Uso and Roman Reigns have had. This is the one where you thought, this could actually.
I forgot about Jay's first time as well. Mind you, that's because the second one was.
You also you missed some names. You missed Matt Riddle.
Who else did I miss? I said Riddle.
Did you?
Yeah, I said Riddle.
You didn't say Goldberg.
I chose not to.
But it did happen.
Yeah, that's true. Who else did I forget? There's a few others I know I've forgotten somewhere. We didn't get Randy Orton, unfortunately. We were going to get Randy Orton.
No.
I think I've listed them all.
All the major ones, anyway. Adam Pearce.
Didn't wrestle him though, because he's
no, but in the most technical of ways, like I'm just going to tell people that was the main event of SmackDown once.
True. We didn't get Nakamura.
Suit wrestled Roman Reigns.
We didn't get Nakamura.
No, it looked like we were building to that, and then they moved Nakamura to Raw, turned him heel.
Yeah, we didn't get AJ Styles.
No, that looked like it was going to happen, but Judgment Day, Bloodline, they kind of chewed him out.
Yep, ruined it. Yeah, that's all of them.
Yeah,
so you're telling me... wait, hold on. We forgot one name. I mentioned him earlier on as a joke about the going back and forth. We forgot Drew McIntyre, who lost it in the UK. Forgot that. We were at Clash and we forgot Drew McIntyre.
Yes, of course, Drew McIntyre. I just wanted to forget it happened. No, I mean I enjoyed the show, obviously. I just didn't want.
Exactly.
I didn't want to relive disappointment.
So this is my whole where I was going from before. We've listed all of those opponents for different reasons. Yeah. LA Knight is the one to beat him, though.
I think so.
And here's the if he doesn't beat him, do we have to wait until it's Cody? Because because Damian Priest is also there, and he says it doesn't matter who's champion, which is quite funny enough. Exactly what Cody said.
You can't have Roman Reigns lose this on a cash-in.
No sense of the humor, but that would be funny.
Whoever beats Roman Reigns has got to do it. Like they've
got to do it physically, where they either overcome the ref bumps or genuinely everybody is banned from ringside. It's just the opponent, Roman and Heyman. No one allowed at ringside.
Yeah, which might be the setup that they're trying to get, because you've got Cody, you've got Jay, you've got obviously Kevin Owens. We'll see. Sami Zayn's been wronged enough to take part. You've got John Cena still around for a bit longer. They will have enough people around if that is what they want to set up. The question would be, is that what they want to set up? And I guess we will find that much out. But in any case, people, leave your comments, leave your thoughts below. What do AEW have to do to improve? What do WWE do about the rise of the megastar? We've spoken. I think it's time. It is LA Knight's time for this. Let's see it happen. But if you disagree, let us know in the comments. If you agree, let us know in the comments as well. Reece, you're off to watch Royal Quest. I don't believe you're doing a watch along for it though, but I'm sure you'll be live tweeting about the show. You're usually around, so go over to Devil's Rising on Twitter and you can annoy him about all this and Cody and all the other people that he finds boring. But in any case,
I find them boring for the right reason though. It's the repetitive promos. I'd like a lot.
In any case, people, this has been a lot of fun. We will be back, obviously, probably next weekend. But scheduling for this show can be up and down and about as erratic as Kevin Owens' mood.
We just need to. What we're gonna do? We're just gonna keep bringing out more. Like I want to do more than one a week, even if it's on my own or if you're around most days. We need to try and sort this, but I think more than one a week where they can just get the absolute carnage out of this show. Where it is fun.
Yeah, well, I think what to do is go and hunt for someone who can talk about the other promotions, because outside of WWE and AEW, I ain't got a clue. I have half a clue about New Japan, and that's literally it. And I don't really watch it. But in any case, we will work that out. That is our job to worry about, and not you beautiful people watching at home. But thank you very much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And whose game is it? I'll let you answer in the comments.
Completely agree. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.